from the Moonraker Mudlarks. Welcome to our newest adventure. We're out to one of our favourite tips. Thought we'd have a little look and see what's been exposed after the massive storms we experienced last week. So if we do find anything of interest, we'll bring you right back. And just before we go, just spotted, oh, it's broken. Already seeing some lovely things that have been exposed that wasn't here before. Just have a quick look. Look at that. Some lovely bits of pottery has been exposed since the last storm. So yeah, if we do find anything interesting, we'll bring you right back. See you later. Just come across something rather intriguing. It's like a little glass dish. It's definitely not broken off of anything. Oh, it does have writing on it. Bear with. What does that say around there? Kilner jar lid. Wow. Original Kilner jar lid. Well, there you go. I love a lid. Welcome back. I've just been having a little scrape around here and I have uncovered a little vase or jug. Unfortunately it is a bit dinked and it's lost its handle. That's pretty. I've also over here, while I'm filming, just show you a couple of other things that I found. Be very careful where I'm walking. So mystery find. It's ceramic. It's got a hole in it. Not sure yet, but this one, lovely old bottle, embossed on the top, with a gorgeous leaf and vine design, and on the bottom it says Fish Ponds, Bristol, Keystones Company. A lovely old embossed bottle from Bristol, which is not too far from here. So I'll keep looking, but so far been here about 5 minutes and found some beauties already. Just lifted all of this up to see what was underneath, and I have discovered something rather exciting. Not quite sure what it says yet. Eiffel Tower's crystals, so that's a newer version. Foster's Clark Maidstone. Wow, so there's a newer version of Eiffel Towers, and I think this is a tiny little ink. Oh, I'm being called. Hang on a minute.
A hole in the bag.
Oh no, show us what you got. Oh, I love. Oh look, it's still got a bit of its. There would have been a
Apple
label
maybe, or
there.
something. Label, yeah.
Oh my god.
You still use that like a plant pot.
No, wait, just put it round the other side.
And that lush, you just wouldn't pick that up.
Where did you find it? Were you digging?
Where you were looking earlier.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I
That's
completely...
a giant ink, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's one of your first major finds, love. Well done.
Well done.
I'm really salty.
You see the remnants of what would have been the label?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite concerned. There's big cracks running all the way through, and I don't want to do anything that's going to break it anymore.
If we have a look back where you found it, we might find that piece.
Yeah.
Over there.
Well done.
Get in the candy shop. What's that?
There's stuff everywhere.
It is, literally everywhere.
I'm really upset that I missed that. How did I miss that?
Literally just behind one of the logs. Because I just crouched down here, I was just looking, I just looked up and just saw the top of it, like...
Good boy, well done.
And put it back together.
So what is it you just picked up? That?
Oh, that's
that
one, yeah. Just distracted by Dan's.
And then he's also
we
found
the whole lot of that.
I'm just so annoyed I missed it.
broken. Not too bad, just the
I could
top
we
and the
can
handle
fix
this
that.
side. It's a lovely, it's got like
Yeah.
nice pink flowers on there. I haven't got anything there. But it's a strange turquoisey colour.
Yeah. Nice.
That's my first find today. Not big ink.
Welcome back. So as you can see, the bottle diggers have been very busy, and lots of things for us to have a little look at, see what they have discarded. So far, top of my list, got this little dish, and a lovely little lid, would have been a teapot lid, broken but still very much wanted, ink with a maker's mark on it, and a lens. I found a couple of these on our last adventure, so that would be joining them. So we'll have a little look, continue to see what they've discarded, see if we can find any new finds that they've missed, and if we find anything interesting, I'll bring you back. Look at this just lying there, an OK sauce with its cap still on it. Not sure if that's coming home, but still interesting to see. A quick roundup of what we found so far. So yeah, always find these, but always a pleasure. Old Bovril. Love a teapot lid. I have found, if I can see it, a bottle that says Lanola for the face and hands. So I'll take that back and do a bit of a research on what that brand was. 2 Jay's bottles that have dessert spoons down the side of them. Don't see that every day. And a few other bits and pieces, so we're going to keep looking and see what else we can find. Just been for a little wander and picked up a few things. I think I've picked this one up before, and I keep going, oh, and it's broken. And this would have been absolutely lovely. A little vase. It's got a coat of arms there. I think this was a lid. Oh, let's get a better. Not filming very well. Nice little bit of spongeware. Don't find this very often, so I'm very pleased with that. A lens. And I'm looking for these handles so I can mend some of my teapots. So yeah, I'm going to carry on hunting. I'll just have a little look at this little salad cream that Dave's found. That's coming home. And over here there's a little area I was exploring. I found a couple of interesting things. Lots and lots and lots of paste jars and bottles. This one I particularly like. I think it says Wigmore of Bristol. I just realised that's an E and not an L. So Wigmore of Bristol. That's coming home. And somewhere here is a little jar that reminds me of a hand grenade. And it says Pex on it. So I've never seen that one before. But absolutely loads and loads of bottles of all different descriptions. You've got plain beers here. Got a Marmite with it, still with its metal cap on it. Lots of little ponds, jars, milk glass. This is interesting. Dave thinks it's a valve from an old radio. Some really cute little, because we always like these, don't we? Some sweet little jars there. So yeah, we'll keep looking and see if we can find anything else interesting. Hello. So I found a few interesting things scraping around under this tree. I always love finding these. lovely ink there. Oh, look at this. A 7411 perfume bottle. Ah, oh, shame it's broken, but this would have been a lovely little paste jar or a cream jar or pot. I think this would say somewhere on it, Prince's Fine Food. This is an interesting thing here. It's I think a compartment, and it has a mark on each side. Not sure if it would slot into maybe a, I don't know, fridge or maybe a bird feeder or something. But yeah, we'll keep looking and bring you back if we find anything.
Hi everybody, I've been busy scraping away in our revisit to this tip. Found a few oldish bottles and started making a pile over there of some embossed ones, but just scraping around here I've put this one here I uncovered first, which looks like is a nice little cotton reel ink, and then not far away from it I was just scraping the soil away here, and I pulled it out and I put it back in the hole to show you this lovely little bell ink, and it is a lovely, where's the sun, lovely bluish colour by the look on it. I'll give it a clean up. Oh, I hope that is blue. Looks it. Get some light on it. Oh yeah, it's a sort of aqua bluey colour. Look at that. Lovely. Oh, Jackie will be happy with that one. Lovely.
What have you got there, Dave?
It's a, I think it's a little whiskey flask embossed.
Oh. Ansell's Brewery, Birmingham. Lovely.
It's a screw top.
Yeah.
It's a nice embossed bottle.
What else have you got?
No, that's not for filming.
Okay. Bye. So, a few other finds. This one says oxygas, and it has markers down the side of it. Unfortunately, it does have a big crack in there. That would have been lovely. Some more spongeware. My second piece today. And this, never seen one like this before, Brill cream bottle. So we'll keep looking.
Oh, never mind, the bottom's gone.
Oh, yeah, that's one of those printed ones, look. Would have been one of those printed milk bottles.
Yeah.
Can you see what town it says on it at all?
Bath.
I would say Bath.
Bath Ford. Yeah,
Bath
unfortunately
Ford.
the red's coming off.
Oh yeah.
But as soon as you touch it, the red comes off. It says Bath Ford there, England 8374.
Yeah, it's probably 1940s, 1950s.
Oh man, that's gutting.
Never mind.
It was like that. All I could see was the print, and obviously that was immaculate. And as soon as I touched it, it just come off.
Yeah, it's a good find there. Good find.
That's absolutely.
Look at this little piece of decorative blue glass. I wonder what it would have been. Who knows? Just found this little Schweppes bottle, and it still has a little bit of its old label on there. I've also found, and I'm not quite sure what it is, I'm not sure if that's going to be glass or a little jug or pot. I'll clean it up when I get home.
You've got, you won't be able to see it from there, Hughes and Co. Bath. Bit of a ding on the corner there. Vulcanite stopper one. Okay. Hughes & Co. Bath local one.
Lovely.
And Jackie has scaled the heights.
I think I found a vulcanite.
You found a vulcanite in the neck.
It's embossed as well. And it says leaves. That's all I can make out.
Well, when we get home, when we clean it. Yeah.
First one today.
First one today. Well done.
Thank you.
Yay.
I can't believe it. And I've just found a kilner jar. And I'm hoping that is the same size as the lid I found earlier. Fingers crossed.
In amongst the hawthorn flowers.
Look what I just found.
Oh, what have you found there? Oh, is that a lid?
I was hoping, it doesn't say kilner and it's not the same size, but it's a glass lid.
Hey! So you've got a big flower right by your head. There we go.
How's this for a vintage Tizer bottle? Look at that. Just make out the name. That's coming home. And a broken button. Hello and welcome to our roundup. Here you can see in front of us a selection of our best finds, and they range from beautiful little bottles and jars to bigger jars and pottery, stoneware and lids, and even a vulcanite stopper. So first of all, I'm going to have a little look at this jar. As you can see, on the outside is embossed 4 bears. Now this jar actually is from the Bear brand and would have contained breakfast spread, which was honey. This jar is ranged between 1930s and 1940s, and following this clip I'll show you a couple of jars which still has the lids. Next up, we have this gorgeous little bottle that says Wigmore of Bristol. Wigmore and Sons made hops, bitters, ginger beer and aerated waters, and that was between 1894 and 1963. This particular bottle, I guessed, comes from approximately 1940s. Next up is this little bottle I've never seen before, and on it is embossed Larola for the face and hands. This was manufactured by Beecham's in Cheltenham and was for beautifying and whitening the skin. Now this bottle most likely dates from around about the 1940s. Following this clip I will show you some adverts that I found, vintage ones. This jar, after cleaning it up, I noticed had Elrose & Co. Limited embossed around the top where the label would have sat, and a beautiful like vine and flower design on the back. Elrose has been a company making lime cordial since 1867. Due to the decline in sales of its lime juice, Elrose & Co. Made marmalade, lime marmalade, which was introduced around mid-1930s. The London premises were destroyed during the Blitz in the 1940s. The product was then relocated to a site in Grosvenor Road, St Albans. and I think this jar most likely dates back to the 1940s. Next to those jars is what I thought might have possibly been a glass feeder or something that went in a fridge, but my husband informs me it's most likely the outside of a miniature glass battery. On the side is embossed British made Hymeg. Unfortunately, I cannot find any information on this whatsoever. Next up is this lovely vintage Tizer bottle. Now, Tizer is a soft drink bottled in Cumbernauld and sold in the United Kingdom. The name originally comes from the phrase Tizer the appetizer. It was launched in 1924 by Fred and Tom Pickup of Pudsey. It was then known as Pickup's Appetizer and is the offspring of Vimto and Irn-Bru. I think the age of this bottle is approximately 1920s. Here we have, which is obviously a whiskey flask type bottle, something that is embossed with Ansell's Brewery Limited of Birmingham. Now, Ansell's Brewery was a regional brewery founded in Austin, Birmingham, England in 1858. Ansell supplied the trade of their brewery with their own branded whiskies, wines, ports and sherry. I believe this bottle most likely dates from the 1940s. Here we have a lovely little perfume bottle with 7411 embossed on it, and this is a perfume I used to use when I was little. Now, this is a traditional German cologne and it has been produced since 1799. This brand has used the same formula for more than 200 years. Now, there is a little bit of a history on this. According to legend, on the 8th of October 1792, a Carthusian monk made a wedding gift for the merchant William Muhens, who was born in 1762 and died in 1841. The secret recipe of a so-called aqua mirabilis, a miracle water for internal and external use, was gifted. Muhens then founded a small factory at Cologne and established the first eau de cologne as a remedy. Now, I believe that this bottle most likely dates from the 1930s. Now, here is something we find a lot, Eiffel Towers crystals by Foster and Clark, but not in this form. Now, I believe this version was available in the 1950s, and I will show you a picture of a bottle with its packaging of this particular type and some adverts that show you this lovely product after this clip. This tiny little jar here, which would have contained meat paste, has Harris Calne embossed on it. When I first of all discovered that, I did wonder if they meant the town Calne, which is not far from us here in Wiltshire, and apparently it does. Now, Harris Calne was a firm that grew out of two small retail shops in Calne. One was a pork butcher's and the other was a grocery shop and a bakery shop. The butcher's was opened in the late 18th century by John Harris when he first came to Calne. When he died in 1791, the business was carried on by his widow, but on a much smaller scale. It was her son John and Henry who built up the businesses. John opened a shop of his own at the corner of the High Street in 1805,
and in 1812, following the death of his mother, Henry took over the grocery and the bakery business. The factory that was founded in the mid-1800s and produced bacon by using ice houses, a revolutionary way of keeping bacon cool, was extended to manufacture sausages and small goods such as this meat paste I have in my hand here today. This was in the early 1900s when Sir John Bodiner became managing director. Now, I do believe that this jar originates from the early 1900s when the meat paste was introduced to the factory. On our tiplark, I found this lovely Kilner jar lid, which I was very pleased at finding because I always love finding the lids and stoppers. But a bit later on, I also found this wonderful jar, which I was very pleased about, which is almost perfect. Now, the original Kilner jar with its distinctive pressure seal and iconic design has been used for around 179 years. The Kilner jar was originally made by a firm of glass bottle makers from Yorkshire called Kilner. The original Kilner bottle makers operated from 1842, when the company was first founded, until 1937, when the company went into bankruptcy. In 2003, the Ray Ware Group purchased the Ravenhead's name, including the design, patent and trademark of the original Kilner jar. It continues to make them today in China. I believe this jar and lid would have been manufactured approximately around 1940s or 50s. We have another meat paste, which I thought when I first of all saw it, it looked a little bit like a hand grenade. Now on it has Peck's embossed on there. Now, Peck's paste was founded in 1891 and soon began making potted meats and fish pastes in their factory in South London. Their early products included anchovette and kippervet. Peck's pastes were exported to all parts of the British Empire, including Australia, in the early 1900s. And I have a lovely little advert for this particular brand which will follow this clip. There is a bit of a question around this bottle's history, to whether the company in Bristol was connected to a company in Birmingham of a very similar name. Around the bottom of this bottle is embossed Keystone's Company, Fish Ponds, Bristol. The Keystone Steam Bottling Company has a premises in 98 Lennox Street in Birmingham from at least 1894 to 1920. There are many similarities between the bottle shapes and printed or embossed designs on both the bottles from Bristol and the bottles from Birmingham. However, there is no clear connection in the records on how these two are linked. Following this clip, you can see an example of this bottle with its label still in situ, and I believe this bottle dates from around about 1920s. This next bottle has Hughes & Co Limited of Bath embossed on it. Now, I could not find any direct information which links Hughes & Co to any company. However, it could possibly be linked to CJ Hughes of Bath, but unfortunately that was all I could find on this name. This is another local bottle which would have been beautiful if complete. It says Brooks & Co of Bath, and we found a couple of cod bottles with that embossing on it in previous films. This vulcanite has "Say Lees Please" embossed on it. Now when I tried to reference that on the internet, I came up with absolutely nothing. But I did come across a brewery which was J.W. Lees & Co Limited, and this is a pub company in Middleton in Greater Manchester. This company has been producing ale since 1828, and I did wonder whether this vulcanite was referencing that particular company, as it was found in a beer bottleneck, but I couldn't see an entire bottle to confirm that. This tiny little ink has Reeves and Son of London embossed on the bottom. Following this clip, I'll show you a picture of what this would have looked like, and it would have had a brass top, and I think this is from approximately around 1910. So the rest of the finds I don't really have any information on, just wonderful, beautiful examples of what you can find in a Victorian tip. So this gorgeous little dish lid has Pyrex brand embossed on around it. A lovely little salt or pepper shaker. I might start collecting these. I did see one on a tip that we were on the other day, and I wish I picked it up, so I may go back for it. The most beautiful, adorable Marmite 1 ounce old little pot there. The most darkest glass I've ever seen. Just perfect. I have no idea what this little bottle would have contained, and it still has some of the residue, but I rather like the ribbing on it. If you know or have seen one of these before, please let us know in the comments below. I think this would have probably contained something like salad cream, and it is the tiniest little example I've ever seen. However, it's got a lot of stress cracks in there, which I kind of think gives it a bit of a nice look. I have a Brill cream bottle here, which I've never seen before. Probably around about 1950s this was made. Here is an old Schweppes bottle, which I haven't really cleaned up because you can still see part of the old label on there. Moving over then, we've got a small collection of inks. I've never seen so many inks on a dig, but this is by far our star find and was found by Dave. It's a first for the Moonraker Mudlarks, and I absolutely adore it. Look at that beautiful colour. We found a gorgeous little jug, which will be attempted to mend. A stoneware which also is broken. A little jug. This I first of all thought was a light bulb until I picked it up, and it would have been a lovely little pot which has been fire damaged, but I kind of like the look that the scorching's given it. Beautiful blue and white teapot lid. As Dave would call it, a brown botty tea lid. And a little milk glass pot. I think this would probably have something like Prince's food in there. And this little teapot lid fits exactly on there beautifully. A tiny little light bulb. Some spongeware. I'm sure I picked up another piece of spongeware as well, but I seem to have misplaced it. Another teapot lid. Some interesting glass. I think that would have been a vase or a decorative bottle. A couple of glass lids. Some little pieces of pottery which would have been little pots or vase. That has a part of a crest on there, but I can't quite work out what it says. Over here, a lovely little glass trinket pot, which will be just perfect for putting my earrings in, and a couple of lenses, and the remains of a little paste pot which needs mending. So that brings us to the conclusion of our roundup. I really hope you've enjoyed our video today. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. It's completely free and it really helps us out. And don't forget to add any comments, and we really hope to see you on our next adventure. Bye!